Well, there's my cassava bread. It's such a traditional recipe of the Dominican history. And I wanted to continue within that theme and create something that everybody on this island talks about, Calypso chicken. It's a beautiful recipe, but it requires marinating that chicken, adding some wonderful flavours to it. And we do that by first adding vinegar into our bowl. And to the vinegar, add some sugar, some chopped garlic, ground allspice, and grated nutmeg. Then, about a teaspoon of black pepper and some salt. Stir that to combine until you feel the little grains of sugar dissolve into the vinegar. Then we're going to take our chicken, and I'm just going to score this chicken there, just with the knife, just running through the top of that. I'm not going too deep into the chicken. Look at that. Just going across the top like that, and that's it. Can you see that? Just opening up that to allow that lovely flavour to penetrate. That goes in there. Lovely. Going to take the other breast of chicken, again, very lightly. You want quite a sharp knife for this, actually, guys. Otherwise, you tend to apply too much pressure, then you can cut into it too deeply. But the most important thing is getting it in that marinade and allowing it to absorb all those lovely flavours for a good 2-3 hours. That's all right. Now, the only thing that's missing is a little bit of fresh thyme. And, of course, any time you touch raw meat, be sure to wash your hands. I'll do that whilst my pan heats up. All right, my pan's on the stove there, heating up. Gonna hit that with a little bit of oil. Actually, just kind of coat it just like that. Of course, what I've got over here is a chicken that has already been marinating. And then we can start to sear our chicken. And while the chicken takes on some colour, I'll give my hands a quick wash again. Turn that over. You can see that starting to brown up. Once we get to that stage, then we're going to pop in our guava jelly. You could use sugar here. It's any of those kind of sweet things. Maybe a bit of honey. I've never tried it with honey. Sugar, certainly. But the guava jelly is the absolute king here. You can see that's just going to melt around the pan. That's it. Lovely. We're going to be turning and coating our chicken in that lovely jam, because that's what it is. I think they say jelly in America, don't they? We say jam and they say jelly. Jam, jelly, jelly, jam. That's cool. No, forget it. Anyway, let's get those tongs, turn that over. That's it. You want to create that kind of glaze on top. Now, whilst that's happening, taking my onion, just going to slice that. Lovely slices of onion. Hey, have a look at this. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to give that a little bit of a squeeze, and look at that. All those slices separate beautifully. OK. Out with our chicken. Red wine. Ooh, yes, wine to deglass the pan. And then some chicken stock too in there, and then allow that to bubble down. It's lovely. So allow that to bubble down and reduce. Again, oil into another pan, a separate pan this time. Then in with our onions. So, our ginger. Here it is. Now, I've cut the ginger up into little fine strips and sliced up our mushrooms. I don't know if you've noticed that the mushrooms got a bit of a different colour to them, and that's because you can't get fresh mushrooms. Everything on this island is just so seasonal. If they're in season, you get them. If they're not, you're going to get tinned mushrooms. Right, that's enough mushrooms there. Now you can see the onions and ginger sauteing off beautifully, softening. That's what you want to do. Soften them. If there is a little bit of colour in there, I've got no problem with that at all, because we've got that kind of brown sauce going with it. And then we can put in our tinned mushrooms. I can't remember when last I used tinned mushrooms. It's almost like you don't have to wait to brown them. They're already brown. Our sauce is beginning to reduce down a little bit. Right, that's coming together really lovely now. Bit of toastiness going on there. And something else I've toasted off here is my cashew nuts. And I'm just going to sprinkle that into the pan too. All right, this is all part of the traditional recipe that makes up the Calypso chicken here in Dominica. That's lovely. Just let that fry down a little bit. And then what I've got here is a little bit of corn flour mixed with water. Just going to add a touch of that here. Looking for the right consistency. You can see that's going to thicken up quite nicely. That's it. And when we get to that stage, we now put our chicken back in there. Lovely. And then that goes in there too. Look at that, beautiful. You want to create a little bit of steam and intensity in there. I haven't got a lid, so here's what a lot of chefs do. We just put another pan on top of it, like that. And let that cook down for a good 8 to 10 minutes. My Calypso chicken, look at that. That really has cooked down wonderfully well there. You remember the beautiful cassava bread? Just going to pop that there like that. And then we concentrate on our chicken. A little bit hot on the fingers, beautifully tender. There we go. That's lovely. Put that on the top there like that. There's our wonderful chicken. And then we can spoon some of that lovely sauce that we've got there. And it is what it is, guys. It's rustic, it's beautiful, it's just... That's it. That's what it's all about. And there we have it, a beautiful, delicious, traditional Dominican dish, Calypso chicken. A true celebration of island flavours sitting on the delicious Calinago cassava bread.